The strengths of our city are really shining through, but the places where we have vulnerabilities, and particularly among our vulnerable populations, those are flashing like a neon sign.
As mayor, you have taken a really hands-on approach to leading the city through this. You've approached residents personally and asked them to disperse if you see them congregating. We've loved the memes that we've seen. Can you tell us about that?
First of all, it's important for me not to kind of exist in a bubble and just be a face on a screen that people see. I want to understand what's going on real time in the city. So I still go out and grocery shop, much to the dismay of those around me. I'm seeing the data. I'm seeing the science. By no means are we out of the woods, but those two things, staying at home and slowing the rate of increase, go hand in hand.
You guys, the governors and mayors just around the country, have this pressure to balance public health while also trying to figure out when you're going to open up the economy.
Yes.
And how are you approaching this?
We have to be driven by the public health data and the analysis. We've identified a number of markers that we are looking at. Number one, we have to see not just a flattening of the rate of increase, but a decrease. And we're a long way off from that. We want to see what's happening with ICU beds, the percentage of COVID patients in our ICUs. We want to see those go down dramatically. Then we want the death rate, of course, to go down. We've got to have widespread testing. We want to make sure that we have an infrastructure in place.
Are you afraid of opening up the city too early? Keep hearing about the potential second wave of COVID-19.
We want to follow, frankly, the experience of Japan or Singapore. They impose very draconian closure restrictions. Then they eased them and saw a spike. We don't want that to happen in Chicago. So we know that if we come out too quickly and we do it in a way that doesn't meet those markers that I identified, we run that risk. I've seen some conversation that Dr. Fauci has talked about. You know, coronaviruses, the common cold, the flu, those are all coronaviruses. Those are seasonal and typically happen through October to April. So there is a concern that we will have a second wave. And what have we done in the intervening time period to minimize and mitigate the harm?
You just mentioned Dr. Fauci. So there's been these conversations happening about Donald Trump's, coronavirus task force briefings daily. Do you watch them, and are they helpful to you?
I don't watch them. I just don't. I watched a little bit of the first few, and it was like watching insanity played out in front of me. It's not helpful. There are too many things that are said that just aren't true. They're not connected to the facts and the science. That's just not a good use of my time. I don't want to take that into my limited brain space.
COVID-19 has exposed an ugly truth about the nation's history of racial health disparities and structural inequalities. And before this pandemic, your goal was to eradicate poverty over the next generation. And so will you have the resources after this to achieve that goal that you set out?
Well, we have to. The strengths of our city are really shining through, but the places where we have vulnerabilities, and particularly among our vulnerable populations, those are flashing like a neon sign. And so what we've been doing in approaching these issues around disparity, around poverty, access to healthcare, life expectancy disparities, is we are building an infrastructure now. We formed, for example, a racial equity rapid response team. That work is going to be something that we will fold into our normal public health and healthcare and poverty work. What we're doing around really aggressive, hyper-local community outreach, that's going to be part of the normal cadence that we are using going forward.
I heard you talk about how there's two pandemics happening right now in the city of Chicago. How do you fight them both? The gun violence pandemic, and also this healthcare crisis that we're in.
It's really, really difficult, in part because a lot of the infrastructure that we rely upon to fight violence just isn't there right now. So you know that Cook County Jail, which is run by the county and the sheriff, has become a real hotspot for infection. So the idea of continuing to arrest and send people to Cook County Jail is just a misnomer. We know that we've really limited the amount of court resources that are available in the criminal justice system. We've also got a workforce that's scared themselves, that's scared that their contacts with people on the street is going to make them ill, or that they're going to bring something back to their home.
Is there a story that you want to share with us during this time that really touched you and moved you?
We have a group of moms in my daughter's school that we've been very, very close to. And one of the moms in the school is a nurse. And she works at a hospital on the near west side. And she was in tears thinking about every single day she sees a number of patients in the ICU go up and up. We were doing videos on Marco Polo. I watched that with my wife, and we just had to turn it off, and we were both weeping. I mean, those are the kind of stories that just really bring home how tough this is, particularly for people that are front lines. That's what really gets me up. You know, my job is tough, there's no question, but these people that are on the front line every day and really making tremendous personal sacrifices, for them, I'm going to work my tail off every day.
20 years from now, what do you want your daughter to know about how you led Chicago through this period?
Well, you know, we actually talk about that at night. She asked me a lot of questions about how my day has gone, and she's watching the various press conferences and so forth. And what we talk a lot about is the personal sacrifice that people are making. Healthcare workers, first responders, and the Chicagoans of this time. I think we're all going to look back in 20 years and say, we really got through this because we stood together as a city.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor. Thank you